Out of South Tucson City Court, I am going to enter a plea of not guilty, quashed a warrant. Ma'am, you've got to make sure that you appear. I see you're in custody on another matter. Are you serving jail time, or is it a pending matter that's happening that you're in custody on?
I'm serving jail time of 6 days, and then I have to go to a rehab, and adult probation services is gonna pick me up.
Okay, all right, great. So I'll let them know that you're in custody for other matters. Your next hearing date in South Tucson is June 18th at 10 a.m. But they'll know you're in custody, and they'll let you know. They'll find out where you're at. Okay.
Okay,
Right,
well, is this where my $1,000 hold is on?
No, I'm releasing
Okay,
this shoplifting case. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Good morning. What is your full name, please?
Erica Rose Sorensen.
And the county attorney's there, yep. All right, so Ms. Sorensen, it looks like you are charged with a class 4 felony shoplifting charge on the inner plea of not guilty. I need to let you know you have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you who is representing you on this morning's hearings. And I'm going to hear first from the county attorney regarding his bond recommendation, and then I'll hear from your attorney.
Okay.
County attorney?
Thank you, Judge, and good morning, Ryan,
Good morning.
for the record. I recommended PTS on my written recommendation. At that time, though, I didn't have the pretrial services report. It looks like Ms. Sorensen's held in custody on a Superior Court matter and held without bond. Given the nature of these charges, Judge, I would just recommend a $1,000 bond for time credit.
Any objection by the defense? All right, so Ms. Sorensen, because you're being held on another matter, I'm going to set your bond at $1,000. It's secured. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set June 11, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you. You are excused. What is your full name, sir?
Robert Andrew Luna.
All right, Mr. Luna, looks like you have a charge of, let's see, hold on a second. Shoplifting from yesterday's date. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty. I'm going to release you, sir. Your next court date is going to be in Pima County Justice Court. It's going to be on July 1st at 8:30 a.m. You must be present for your hearing date in Justice Court. If you are not, a warrant could issue for your arrest. And don't go back to the store location. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. When did I shoplift?
I do not know, sir. When you go to court, you will find out what allegedly is happening. Oh, you know what? You have a probable cause statement here. It says that you were observed by the Circle K clerk taking 2 cans of beers without paying for it. All right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Good luck to you. Take care. You're excused.
Thank you. Okay.
What is your full name, sir?
Santo Mireles,
What is your first name?
Luis.
All right. Looks like you're charged with domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct, one count of resisting arrest, criminal trespass in the first degree, and refusing to provide your true name. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty. Looks like you have a federal hold on you. Let me see. I don't even have a. Hold on a second. Looks like this case involved Irma Andros, so I'm gonna order that you have no contact with her. I'm gonna release you on this case because you have that federal detainer. So you're still gonna stay in custody and the federal officials will pick you up. Your next court date, I will release you on this case for this misdemeanor. Your next hearing date is gonna be in Justice Court, July 1st at 10:30 a.m. And I will let them know that you currently have a federal detainer on you. Thank you, you are excused.
Anyone? With that said,
What is your full name, sir?
Marvin J. Rosenberg.
Mr. Rosenberg, it looks like you had a warrant for your arrest for a driving on a suspended license charge. And that is out of justice court. It's kind of a, it's a charge and you're in custody because of that. So you've got to make sure you appear in court for this charge. I'm going to post a warrant. I will release you, sir, July 1st at 9:30 a.m. is your next court date in justice court. You're still not allowed to drive without a valid license. You are excused, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bruce,
What is your name, sir?
My original name is Johnson Yalong Dylan, Diego Junior Lin.
All right, what's your name today?
Well, they got me under Diego assault charge. My dad's in Phoenix or somewhere out there.
All right, sir. Hold on, sir. Looks like you're here on several charges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 charges. Warrants for your arrest out of justice court. One case was an assault from October 28, 2018. And resisting arrest, criminal damage from April 27, 2020. Criminal trespass in the third degree from April 9th of 2022. Criminal trespass for third degree, July 6, 2022. Criminal trespass again from September 10th of 2022, criminal trespass October 20th, 2022, criminal trespass June 5th, 2023, criminal trespass January 19th, 2024, refusing to provide your true name October 20th, 2023, criminal trespass May 12th, 2024, and then you picked up a new charge for criminal trespass from yesterday's date. For each of your cases, I'm going to hold you on a $100 bond. Your next court date is going to be in justice court for each case, June 3rd at 1 o'clock p.m. And you'll see a judge in justice court on Monday. What's your question?
Yeah. I actually don't really get in trouble. I got brothers that are triplets. I haven't got no sisters, and this is probably their issue.
All right.
And I got
Talk to the judge about that in 2 days from now. Thank you.
For
For each case. For each case.
For each case, how much is that?
Hold on, sir. Chris, I just realized I got an attorney. So, Chris,
Yeah.
can you add the attorney onto the list? Let's see. Who am I on to? I'm gonna do Carlos, that's important, okay?
Yep.
So I'm gonna put it on one case, and if you could put it for all the cases, that'd be great.
Sure.
Hold on, sir. It populated the last four, but not the first couple of ones, okay? All right, thank you so much. Sir, at the Pima County Jail, what is your full name, please?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm sorry, ma'am, what is your full name, please?
Andrea Barraza.
Miss Barbara?
Sorry, I lost my voice.
That's okay, thank you. All right, so Andrea, is it Pauline Barraza?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're charged with drug paraphernalia possession and reckless burning. I'm gonna enter pleas of not guilty. I'm gonna release you. Make sure you're not, picking up any new charges. Your next court date's gonna be in Tucson City Court, July 2nd at 2:30 p.m. Make sure you appear. If you don't, a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Thank you.
Thank you. You are excused. Hopefully you'll feel better. What is your full name, sir?
Evan Gerald Bozardé.
Thank you. You are charged with one count of domestic violence disorderly conduct. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. I'm going to allow you to be released, but you are not allowed to have any contact with Sandra or Cornella. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, I'll release you. Your next court date is going to be in Tucson City Court, July 1st, 2024 at 10 a.m. Make sure you appear. If you do not, a warrant will issue for your arrest. And do not pick up any new domestic violence charges or do not pick up any new charges in general. You are excused. Thank you.
I'm sorry, the date was again, please?
July 1st at 10 a.m.
Thank you.
What is your full name, sir?
Ben Clarence Hill Jr.
You are charged with domestic violence disorderly conduct. I'm going to plea of not guilty. I will release you, sir. Got to make sure you're getting along with your family members. Your next court date is going to be July 2nd at 2:30 p.m. Make sure you appear in city court. If you do not, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Take care.
Thank you.
Johnson. How many cases does she have?
She has 13 cases.
All right, thank you. What is your full name, please?
Ruby Johnson.
Is your middle name Ann?
Yes, it is.
All right, it looks like you're facing charges of domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct, and drug paraphernalia possession. I am going to enter plea of not guilty. You also have cases and warrant status on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cases in warrant status. I'm gonna quash those warrants. I am going to, set your bond at $2,000. You're gonna be seeing, a judge in city court. Hold on a second. June 10th, 2024 at 1:45 p.m. I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. And his name is going, oh, actually, let me see who your last attorney was. I'll appoint the city public defender. Your last attorney will be in touch with you. You are excused. Thank you. What is your full name, sir?
Christopher Sean Guyan.
Mr. Cayenne, you have a case that keeps going into warrant status. A case from December 18th, 2022. It's for 2 counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence, criminal damage, domestic violence, criminal trespass, domestic violence, refusing to allow someone to use a phone, and then you have a new charge of drug paraphernalia from yesterday's date. So, Mr. Kyron, you living in Tucson?
Yes, I am.
How long you been living in Tucson?
Quite a while, like, basically most of my whole life. I lived in like Indiana and Troy, Missouri for a little bit, but we'll start living in Tucson.
So I want to let you know, the police saw that when you picked up this charge from yesterday, drug paraphernalia, they ran your name. Here comes your warrant. You had 2 warrants in this domestic violence case. This case will never go away until you resolve it. The only way you can resolve it is by appearing in court. You're more than entitled to have a trial in your case, or you can resolve it by a plea offer, but you have to show up for court, sir. You're gonna keep getting
Right.
warrants for your arrest and keep getting arrested. So you've got to show up. I'm gonna release you, give you a chance to appear one more time, July 2nd at 2:30 PM in city court to resolve both cases. If you don't, a warrant will issue again for your arrest. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're excused. Thank you. What is your name, please?
Jordan Lynch.
You're charged with domestic violence, criminal damage, domestic violence, disorderly conduct. I'm gonna enter pleas of not guilty. If I release you, you're not allowed to have contact with the other party, Darius. Is that, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't even know what the relationship is between you and that person.
He was my ex-boss.
Okay. So don't go to his place and don't have contact with him. Your next court date is going to be in city court, July 16th at 1:30 PM. Make sure you appear. If you do not, a warrant will issue for your arrest. You are excused. Thank you.
Can you repeat yourself one more time?
Yep.
Can I borrow your-
Next court date is July 16th at 1:30 PM.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. You're excused. What is your full name, please?
Francis Moore.
What's your middle name, please?
Moore.
Middle name?
William,
All right,
William.
looks like you're charged with domestic violence, failure to comply with a court order, and a drug paraphernalia charge is a separate case. The domestic violence failure to comply involves apparently your mother. You're not supposed to be having any contact with her. Hold on a second. I see that you had criminal trespass, please. Criminal trespass. Criminal trespass.
Yeah,
criminal
in
trespass.
terms of domestic violence, I was kind of curious about that.
Because it involves your mom, the domestic violence case.
I see.
I'm
And
gonna
I don't
set-
want to get involved.
I'm gonna set your bond at $500 and appoint you an attorney with the city public defender's office. Your next hearing date's gonna be in city court, June 10th at 1:45 PM. And, your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
What is your
Morning.
name, please?
Michael Angelo Negrete.
All right, looks like you're charged with 2 separate counts of domestic violence disorderly conduct and 2 simple counts of disorderly conduct. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty. Let's see. I'm gonna release you. Let's see, hold on. I'm gonna release you. Do not pick up any new charges. Do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. Your next court date's gonna be in city court, July 2nd at 2:30 PM. Make sure you appear. If you do not, a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, July 2nd.
Yep, you'll get your
Sorry.
paperwork at 2:30 PM. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just the phone.
What
No,
is your
go
full
back.
name, please? What is your
Huh?
full name? What is your
Hunter
name?
Penalty? Hunter, Fred Penalty?
All right, just look at the new charges of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence, criminal damage. I am
Oh,
going to
what?
plead of not guilty. Wait, what's your last name? You said Paddley, right?
Yeah.
All right, hold on a second.
Hunter, Fred Penalty? I was not expecting those charges, but yeah.
Hold on a
Understand.
second, please don't make any comments. I'm gonna enter
Okay,
pleas
sorry.
of not guilty. You also had another case where a petition to revoke your probation was filed, basically on March 11th of 2024. In the petition, it states that you pled guilty to a DUI May 5th of 2023, and you were supposed to complete your DUI evaluation, DUI counseling, and math. You have not filed the proof of completion by the deadline date. So I'm gonna enter.
I'm in the process.
Hold
of
on,
it.
excuse me. I'm gonna enter denial of the allegations. And I'm going to, let's see. I'm gonna allow you to be released, but you're not gonna be allowed to go to Mercedes' house or have any contact with her. Do you understand?
I understand that, yeah.
Don't call her, don't see her, stay away from her, don't go to where she lives, do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. Your next court date is going to be in city court on June 28, 2024 at 9 a.m. You must be present, if you're not present, a warrant will issue for your arrest. You are excused, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Chris, are there any victims? Are there any victims? Oh, okay, all right. Sir, what is your full name, please? You speak Spanish?
Su primer nombre, su nombre entero, por favor, señor, y habla en español.
Sí, Luis Valencia Flores.
Luis Valencia Flores.
All right. Wait, say your second name again?
Su segundo apellido es
Flores.
señor Flores, Luis Valenzuela Flores.
Jail, I'm not sure if we have the right person. I have a Luis Valencia Rosales.
One second,
All right, thank you. I don't have a Flores on the calendar.
Your Honor, this is him.
If this is him.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, is your other name Luis Valencia Rosales?
Señor, su nombre es Luis Valencia Rosales?
Flores.
No, second last name is Flores. Valencia is right, Flores is what he's saying, second last name.
What is your date of birth, sir?
Fecha de nacimiento, señor.
16 de enero del 77.
17 de enero de 77.
16 de enero del 77.
1/16/1977.
And, oh, okay. Do you have a middle name, sir?
Señor, ¿tiene un segundo nombre? Luis, y luego otro nombre.
No.
No.
You're charged with one count of domestic violence assault, one count of domestic violence disorderly conduct.
Se le acusa de violencia intrafamiliar, un cargo de agresión, un cargo de alterar el orden público.
And then you have another case for the same exact charges.
Y luego tiene otro cargo con los mismos cargos.
And then you have a case where you were charged for domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct from this September 10th of 2020.
Y luego tiene otro caso donde se le acusó de violencia intrafamiliar, de agresión y alterar el orden público, con la fecha del 10 de septiembre de 2020.
And that September case in 2020 involved also an assault on a minor and a disorderly conduct of the child.
Y en este caso del septiembre de 2020 también se involucra un menor de edad, agresión ante el menor de edad y también a entrar al orden público con relación al niño.
I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty.
Pueden hablar de declaraciones de no culpable.
I'm going to set your bond, sir, at $1,000.
Señor, voy a fijar su fianza en $1,000.
I'm going to appoint the city public defender's office. But actually, hold on a second.
Yes.
Who's the conflict with misdemeanors? Scott Redmond? Hold on a second.
Momentico.
Yeah, he's one of them.
All right, I'm going to appoint Scott Redmond as counsel on your case.
Le voy a nombrar a Scott Redmond como abogado defensor en caso de usted, abogado de oficio en caso de usted.
And you're not allowed to have any contact with Herlinda Santiago.
No puede tener nada de contacto con Ermelinda o Erlinda Santiago.
Your next court date is going to be in City Court, June 12th, 2024 at 1:30 p.m.
Próxima audiencia en el Tribunal de la Ciudad el 12 de junio 2024 a la 1:30 de la tarde.
He hasn't been seen.
Yes.
Mr. Valencia, do you own any firearms or have access to any firearms?
Which one?
Señor Valencia, ¿es dueño de algún arma de fuego? ¿Tiene acceso a algún arma de fuego?
For me too?
No, nunca.
No.
I'm
All
sorry,
right, thank
Chris.
you. Your attorney will be in touch with you. Thank you.
Muy bien, gracias, señor. Se puede retirar. Su abogado estará en contacto con usted.
Gracias.
Yeah, for the schedule, just wondering if that is the case, if the interpreter can excuse.
No, I need to ask the jail. Jail, is there any other Spanish-speaking defendants?
No, ma'am.
Yes, interpreters, excuse.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, what are you asking?
So, yeah, and we got Luis Morales, he was one of the misdemeanors, was he covered?
Yes.
It's still an adjudication, if you just, pass on the pieces.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, at the Pima County Jail, what is your full name, please?
This might be the ASL one, and she's online.
ASL interpreter, are you there?
Yes, here I am. Okay, yes. She can
What
see
is
me.
your full name, please?
My name is Tanae Jones.
You are charged with 1 count of domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct, 1 count of disorderly conduct, and 1 count of assault. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. I'm going to release you.
You mean I can get out?
Yes. I'm just gonna give this to Lillian, who I get. Oh, she's consulted.
She's the ASL one.
What time would that be?
You're gonna appear in Tucson City Court, July 9th, 2024, at 8:30 a.m.
Can you repeat that?
July 9th at 8:30 a.m. Do not commit any further acts of domestic violence.
Okay, I won't,
You are excused, thank you.
and I won't do that again. I
Thank
was
you.
drinking.
Don't be drinking any alcohol while you're on release status.
Okay,
Thank you, you're excused.
and the liaison interpreter be excused?
Yes, thank you so much.
Have my own witness.
What is your full name, sir, at the Pima County Jail?
Gabriel Barrio, ma'am?
Right. Do you have a middle name, sir?
Renee?
Okay. You are charged with, weapons misconduct by a prohibited possessor. I did not find that there was probable cause for, or reasonable cause for the charge because, the county attorney, are you present? I didn't see anything in the write-up stating why he's a prohibited possessor. So that's
Judge,
why.
unfortunately.
Can I answer that one?
Hold on, Mr. Barrio, be quiet.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, county attorney.
Unfortunately, I agree with the court, Judge. I don't have anything to add. They
All right.
didn't put it in.
So, Mr. Barrio, I'm releasing you from custody, dismissing the case without prejudice. There's a possibility the state could refile this case once they do further investigation. If you receive a summons in the mail to appear, it may be because this case was refiled. Thank you, your
Okay,
excuse.
so I have a question.
No, you're not asking me, no question.
Don't say anything about the case or anything, but they question. So I. Okay, good talk, Rick.
What is your full name, sir?
Billy Joe Anthony Jr.
You are charged with one count of discharging a firearm within the city limits and a weapons misconduct charge, by a prohibited possessor. You're gonna enter pleas of not guilty. I need to let you know you have a constitutional right to remain silent and to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this morning's hearing. I'm gonna hear first from the county attorney's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I'll hear from your attorney. County attorney?
Thank you, Judge. I'm recommending a $10,000 bond plus pretrial services if that bond is posted. This is based primarily on the nature of this offense here, where Mr. Anthony's alleged to have discharged a weapon multiple times in a residential area. I note that he was uncooperative with pretrial services and did not participate in an interview with them. He's got prior felony convictions and is listed as a 4 on the new criminal activity scale.
Defense counsel.
Judge, we asked to release him for the supervision of pretrial services. They believe they can supervise him. It looks like he has one felony prior, but that's all the way from 2008.
Mr. Anthony, I'm gonna set your bond at $5,000. You are not allowed to go back to that location that, this alleyway that, allegedly this incident occurred at. If you post that bond, you will be released to supervision of pretrial services. You must comply with any monitoring treatment they recommend. You are not allowed to possess any firearms or weapons, sir. You're not allowed to drink any alcohol or take any illegal drugs. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set June 11th, 2024 at 1:30 PM. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you. You are excused.
Ma'am. Thank you, have a good day.
What is your full name, sir?
Daniel Raul Creel.
You're charged with one count of domestic violence disorderly conduct involving a weapon and the inner plea of not guilty. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this morning's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the county attorney's office, and then I'll hear from your attorney. County attorney?
Thank you, Judge. I'm recommending a $10,000 bond plus pretrial services if it's posted. I understand pretrial services may be recommending Mr. Carrillo's release, or they were recommending that it be continued to the next IA. I think they're concerned about housing for him. My concern is less so about the housing. I think there should just automatically be a no contact order immediately between him and any of the victims. But furthermore, I'm concerned there were minor children present here, and he brandished a machete and said, "I'm going to kill you." And the victims had to hide from him. I'm concerned about the safety for the victims. I understand they potentially want contact. I don't think that's a good idea. I'd ask at a minimum the court impose a no contact order. But Judge, I'm asking for a $10,000 bond.
Defense counsel?
Judge, do you have somewhere else you can stay?
Yes.
So he is somewhere else he could stay. He doesn't have any prior, domestic violence cases. He doesn't have any prior felony arrests, it looks like. So he will abide by all conditions you said, if he's released and have no contact, if you order that. Pending what follows, cases pending.
Mr. Carrillo, your bond is set at $2,500. You are not allowed to have any contact with Lacey and the kids. Stay away from them. Do not call her, do not see her, do not text her, do not social media her. Do not go to where she lives and works. You are not allowed to possess any firearms, commit no further acts of domestic violence. If you're able to post that bond, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services. You must comply with the amount of treatment they recommend. You are not allowed to drink any alcohol or take any illegal drugs while on release status. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. June 11th, 1:30 is your preliminary hearing. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you. What is your full name, please?
You were Richard Figueroa?
You were arrested for charges involving unlawful possession of narcotic drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. The state has made a decision at this time to dismiss your case. So I am dismissing your case without prejudice, which means that there is a possibility the state could refile this case at some later point. But for now, I will release you. Your case is dismissed. And you also have a case out of city court, new charge of domestic violence assault. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty. Let's see, this case involved a daughter. How old is Brielle?
My daughter, she is 16 years old.
There's no write-up on this. Let's see. Hold on a second. So she doesn't live with you, correct?
Correct.
All right. So I am going to order that you have no contact with your child right now. You can ask the next judge to change that condition at the next hearing date. But for now, you're not allowed to have contact with her. I'm going to release you and allow you to be released on this case. Your next court date is going to be July 9th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. in city court. Make sure you appear in court. If you do not, a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Good job.
All right, you are excused. Thank you. What is your full name, please? All right, so it looks like you're wanted on an out-of-county warrant out of Pinell County, and it was for a narcotic drug possession case. I am going to quash the warrant and enter plea of not guilty. Hold on a second. Let me see what's happening. They're saying you failed to appear 4 times on that case. You have a trial date scheduled here in Tucson, and you keep failing to appear on that Eroy case. So, Mr. Gonzalez, because of the defense counsel, I'm going to go and, release and release.
Judge, I have nothing to add to the report.
All right, so Mr. Gonzalez, because it states that you failed to appear 4 times in that felony court, I'm gonna set your bond at $500. You'll have a review hearing here, July 1st at 9 AM to see if you're still in custody. You are excused, thank you.
Right? Okay. Yeah.
Also, I see.
What is your full name, please? What is your full name, please?
Jennifer Grass.
All right, looks like you're charged with promoting prison contraband and all possession of a dangerous drug. I'm gonna enter pleas of not guilty. I need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this morning's hearing. Ms. Graylis, the prosecutor's office is okay with your release or supervision of pretrial services. I'm gonna follow that recommendation and release you to their supervision. You must comply with any monitoring that they recommend. You are not allowed to drink any alcohol or take any of the drugs while in release status. You're certainly not allowed to be in possession of any illegal drugs. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set for June 21st at 1:30 PM. Stay in touch with your attorney. You also have a misdemeanor case. You're picked up for new charges of resisting arrest, obstructing a public thoroughfare, refusing to provide your true name, and a pedestrian on the roadway. I'm gonna enter pleas of not guilty. I will release you. Your next court date's in Justice Court, July 1st at 8:30 AM. Make sure you appear in court if not a warrant will issue for your arrest. You are excused, thank you.
Okay.
What is your full name, please?
Mr. Joshua Lopez.
Mr. Lopez, looks like you were arrested for charges involving unlawful possession of narcotic drugs, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. The state has made a decision at this time to dismiss your case, so I am dismissing your case without prejudice. That means there's a possibility the state could refile this case at some later point. If you receive a summons in a mail to appear, it may be because this case was refiled. But for now, it's dismissed. I am releasing you on these charges. Mr. Lopez, you also had cases out of city court and warrant status on some misdemeanor matters for charges involving drug paraphernalia. Sir, these misdemeanor cases from 2023, they'll never go away until you appear in court. I'm gonna give you a chance to appear on your own July 15th at 9:30 AM in city court. Make sure you appear this time, sir, so you can resolve your cases. You are excused, thank you.
Thank you. Lopez.
What is your full name, sir?
Robert Richard McLaughlin.
Mr. McLaughlin, you are charged with unlawful possession of narcotic drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty. Need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this morning's hearing. Mr. McLaughlin, pretrial services recommended against your release. I looked at your arrest history. You've had multiple failures to appear on several felony cases. County attorney, I understand that you're recommending you be released to the supervision of pretrial services. You can make your record if you like. I'm not inclined to do that.
Judge, to be quite honest with the court, I waffle back and forth on this. It's a simple possession charge, which typically we recommend release on. However, I do have concerns that he's possessing fentanyl with a minor child in the car. And thankfully, it was on his person and the child didn't appear to have access to it, but that's a slippery slope where that can happen easily. So if the court's inclined to hold Mr. McLaughlin, I'd recommend a $10,000 bond. I think that's appropriate given his history and the fentanyl in the minor child.
Defense counsel?
His prior felonies are from 2004. And then there's no felony arrest since then. I would ask that you do release him to the supervision of pretrial services, who will comply with whatever conditions you impose. And it appears that, it's eligible for SMART court.
Mr. McLaughlin, I'm gonna set your bond at $1,000. You scored a 606. You failed to appear in cases in the past. You have a criminal history. And looking at your failures to appear on your prior warrant cases, you've been revoked on probation. You've absconded from parole. You just have a history of failing to appear and abiding by court orders. So your bond is at $1,000. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set for June 11th at 1:30 p.m. Your SMART hearing, which is set for next week, is June 10th at 9 a.m. That will be your first court date. If you're out of custody, you must appear for that court date, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You also have misdemeanor cases out of city court. You have new charges of 2 counts of disorderly conduct. You have a drug paraphernalia criminal trespass case that was in warrant status. And then you pick up domestic violence, 2 counts of domestic violence disorderly conduct, and a separate disorderly conduct case. I'm going to enter pleas if not guilty. I will release you on the misdemeanor cases and set your next hearing date for June 10th, June 12th at 1:30 p.m. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. His name is Scott Redman. He'll be in touch with you soon. Thank you, York State.
Mr. Hammerman says.
What is your full name, sir?
Johannes Smoot Jr.
How do you say your last name?
Moot, like M-O-O-T, like a moot point.
Thank you. You are charged with domestic violence, criminal damage, and a simple count of criminal damage. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this morning's hearing. Mr. Moot, let's see. County attorney, what is your recommendation?
Judge, I'm fine with pretrial services release.
All right, so Mr. Moot, the state's okay with your release to supervision of pretrial services. I wasn't trying to hold you because of your criminal arrest history, but I will follow the recommendation of the state, release you to the supervision of pretrial services. Mr. Moot, you are not allowed to have any contact with the Lori. Don't call her, don't see her, don't go to where she lives. Do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. You must comply with any monitoring directed by pretrial services. You're not allowed to possess any firearms. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. June 21st at 1:30 p.m. is your preliminary hearing. Make sure you stay in touch with your attorney. You are excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Stephen?
What is your full name, please?
Stephen Moose, Bradley Moose.
You are charged with unlawful possession of a dangerous drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm gonna enter pleas of not guilty. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you, representing you for this morning's hearing. And, Control Services is recommending release. Looks like you have a probation violation warrant. State you're still recommending, release of Control Services?
Well, Judge, it looks like it was out of Maricopa County and I didn't see a hold noted. If we can just confirm there's no hold, I'm fine with releasing him. If there is a hold, then you should have put him on for time credit.
County
That's right.
Jail, is there a hold on Mr. Moose?
It says it's got a whole lot of Maricopa County.
Okay, he does have a hold. County Attorney,
In that case, I'd recommend $1,000 for time credit.
Defense Counsel, any objection?
We recommend it and now on the time credit.
All right, Mr. Moose, because you have a probation hold on you, I'm gonna set your bond at $1,000. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. June 11th, 1:30 is your preliminary hearing. An attorney will be in touch with you. Thank you.
He's eligible for smart court.
All right, Smart Court hearing set for June 10th at 9 a.m. That is your next court date, Mr. Moose, June 10th at 9 a.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you. Thank you.
We're not ready. Let's see what
What is your full name, please?
Jose Ortiz,
What's your middle name?
Angel.
You were charged with 1 count of aggravated DUI and the inner plea of not guilty. Let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this morning's hearing. I'm going to first hear from the county attorney regarding their bond recommendation, and then I'll hear from your attorney. County attorney?
Thank you, Judge. I'm recommending a $7,500 bond plus pretrial services if that's posted, based primarily on the fact that he's got a new DUI here while he's pending on a misdemeanor DUI. Looks like there was a failure to appear warrant out on the misdemeanor DUI.
Defense counsel?
Judge, we ask that you consider release to supervision of pretrial services. Don't say anything. It appears that he's employed and a lifelong resident, and that case, I guess, is pending. Not conviction.
Mr. Ortiz, your bond is set at $5,000. Looks like you do have that city court case. The warrant had just issued for you on May 24, 2024. You have a pending DUI case. You picked up another DUI case now. It's a felony. So your bond is set at $5,000. If you're able to post that bond, you'll be released to supervision of pretrial services. You must comply with any treatment they recommend. You are not allowed to drink any alcohol, sir, or take any illegal drugs. You're not allowed to drive without a valid license. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set June 11th at 1:30 p.m. You also have that city court warrant for your arrest. For the DUI, I'm gonna enter plea of not guilty. I'm gonna set a small bond just so you can start receiving jail credit on that matter. It's just gonna be $200 cash. I'll appoint the city public defender's office, I'll appoint Janet Altschuler to represent you on that case. And I'll let them know that you're currently in custody on a felony matter. Your next hearing date is city court, June 10th at 1:45 p.m. You are excused, thank you. What is your full name, please?
Sean Patton,
Is your middle name Sherwin?
Burbon, yes.
All right, looks like you're charged with theft of means of transportation, unlawful possession of a dangerous drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this morning's hearing. The county attorney's office is recommending that you be held without bond. Pursuant to the Arizona Constitution, which states that if you have a pending felony case and you're arrested on new felony charges, You are not entitled to bond. Defense counsel?
He does say he said a no bond hearing.
Mr. Patton, I'm gonna hold you without bond. Your first hearing is a no bond hearing on June sixth at 2:30 PM. Your preliminary hearing is June 11th at 1:30 PM. And for this theft of means of transportation charge, you are not allowed to have any contact with the victim involved in the case. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you. You also have misdemeanor case out of city court. There were warrants for your arrest for charges involving drug paraphernalia for one case and unlawful possession of prescription drug on the other case. I'm gonna quash the warrants, enter pleas of not guilty. July 15th at 2:00 PM is your next court date in city court. And, I'll let city court know that you're currently in custody on, felony matter. Your excuse. What is your full name, please?
Ramos.
You, were, arrested for charges involving unlawful possession of a narcotic drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia charges. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is representing you this morning. She's seated next to you. I see you have a pending felony case. The prosecutor's office is asking for $1,000 bond. You do have that felony hold on you. Any objection by the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ramos, because you have that felony case, we're giving you $1,000 bond. In this case, it's time credits. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your first hearing is called a SMART hearing. It's set for next week, June 10th at 9 AM. Your preliminary hearing is June 11th at 1:30 PM. Your attorney will be in touch with you to talk to you about your case. Thank you. You are excused.
Thank you.
What is your full name, sir?
Lazaro Rios?
All right, and are you a junior?
Yes.
All right, so it looks like you had a felony warrant for the arrest for a charge of burglary third degree from January 2nd of 2023. I'm gonna enter plea of not guilty, quash the warrant, let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this morning's hearing. I understand you have a federal probation hold on you. And County Attorney, what is your recommendation?
Thank you, Judge. I'd like to revise my written recommendation. At the time I submitted that, I didn't have the pretrial services report. Looks like Mr. Rios is on federal probation as well as county probation. He's held without bond. Given that, I'd recommend a $5,000 bond.
Defense counsel?
Judge, we have to, set a nominal bond, given that he's being held without bond.
Mr. Rios, your bond is set at $5,000. No contact with the victims involved in this case. And don't go back to the incident location. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your arraignment date is set for June 7th at 1:30 PM. And your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Stop.
What is your full name, sir?
January Marquis Scott.
You are charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, discharging a firearm within the city limits, discharging a firearm at a non-residential structure, basically a vehicle, and discharging a firearm into an occupied structure. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty. Let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this morning's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the county attorney's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I'll hear from your attorney. County attorney.
Thank you, Judge. I'm recommending a $50,000 bond plus pretrial services supervision if that bond happens to be posted. I note that I'm very concerned about the allegations here and the danger Mr. Scott poses to the victims and the community at large. The allegations are that he fired a weapon multiple times at a passing car because of a feud that he had. shots were fired into the car and also struck neighboring houses. He doesn't have any prior felony convictions, but he does have a pending domestic violence misdemeanor assault case. Police allowed this investigation to develop, ultimately matching shell casings to a weapon that was found on Mr. Scott's person when he was detained. So Judge, given the nature of the allegations here and the danger it poses to the community, I'm recommending $50,000.
Defense counsel?
Our judge, as states that, it does not appear that he has any prior felony arrests. He does have ties to the community.
All right, so Mr. Scott, your bond is set at $25,000. I see bond is set at $25,000. I see from the write-up that you've only been in Tucson for 11 months, and that's concerning, and the fact that the statements made by the county attorney's office. That is the reason for your bond. No contact with any of the victims, don't go where they live, possess no firearms or weapons. Public defender's office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set June 11th at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. You also have a domestic violence case out of city court. It was a warrant for your arrest on October 13th, 2023. And the charge involved a domestic violence assault case from August 14th of 2023. I am going to quash that warrant. I'm going to set your bond in that case at $1,000. It's cash. City Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Actually, City Public Defenders is appointed to represent you, and your next hearing date in City Court's June 12th at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney, both attorneys will be in touch with you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll step up for them. Trivia.
What is your full name, please?
Me, Cecilia Sumitra.
All right, looks like you're charged with, unlawful possession of a dangerous drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia, and a pleas of not guilty. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this morning's hearing. The county attorney's office is okay with your release to the supervision of pretrial services, their enhanced level of supervision. I will release you to their supervision, their enhanced level. You must comply with any monitoring pretrial services recommends. You're not allowed to drink any alcohol or take any illegal drugs, and you certainly cannot be in possession of any illegal drugs. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your SMART hearing is set for June 10th at 9 a.m. It's your first hearing date. You must be present in court. If you're not present, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. Your preliminary hearing is set June 21st at 1:30 p.m. Make sure you stay in touch with your attorney and make your court date next week. You also had a warrant for your arrest out of city court for a charge involving a shot within case in one case, a criminal trespass, drug paraphernalia in the other case. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty. Set your next hearing date for July 15th, 2024 at 2:00 p.m. Make sure you appear in city court this time, ma'am. You've got to appear to resolve your case. If you don't appear, no warrants will issue for your arrest. You are excused. Thank you.
So,
Yeah,
good morning, Your Honor.
Hi, good morning, sir. What is your full name, please?
Donald Trillium.
You are charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault, and the NFC is not guilty. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you representing for this morning's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I'll hear from your attorney, county attorney.
I'm recommending a $50,000 bond plus pretrial services if that bond is posted. The allegations are really concerning. Judge, I have strong concerns about the future safety of the victim. I think she's at high risk here. Mr. Young is alleged to have held a gun to her forehead right between her eyes. he's got an active new violent criminal activity flag. He's got multiple domestic violence priors and is on domestic violence probation right now. So I'd ask that the court impose an immediate no contact order that he not go back to the incident location and impose a $50,000 bond.
Defense counsel.
Judge, appears he's no felony arrest before this, and, he will stay away from the victim and comply with any other, orders that you impose.
So, Mr. Young, I'm setting your bond at $20,000. Looks like you're on probation for a domestic violence case here in Tucson. You're not even supposed to be in possession of any firearms. And then it looks like you have 3 alleged prior convictions from 2017, 2012, 2010. And then what you're on probation for is from last year's date. I have real concerns about the safety and well-being of the victim. You are not allowed to have any contact with her. Do not call her, text her, social media her, do not write to her. If you were to get out of custody, you cannot go to where she lives or works. You are not allowed to possess any firearms or weapons, commit no further acts of domestic violence. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set June 11th at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you. You are excused. Thank you.
The one we have court date June 11th, if we don't post your bond, it'll probably be next.
We're gonna secure it, or get it, or meet in here.
No.
Okay, no,
But you have to notify the city court.
I do wish to do.
Because otherwise, I don't think they'll know. He says he's got a court date in city court on June 12th.
Yeah,
Okay.
with Judge Million,
All
Your
right.
Honor, with Judge Million, Your Honor.
All right.
Okay,
They'll
all right.
know you're in custody. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Chris,
What is your full name, please?
Nicholas J. Youngman, I go by Gila and transgender.
You are charged with aggravated domestic violence on the inner plea of not guilty. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is sitting next to you, representing you for this morning's hearing. I'm going to note for the criminal history record that he's got a pending felony case and was released from custody April 28, 2024. He's also on probation for multiple domestic violence cases. County Attorney.
Judge, with the pending felony, I recommend you be held without bond for Article 2.
Thank you. So, Mr. Youngman, the state's asking that you be held without bond pursuant to the Arizona Constitution, which states that if you have a pending felony case and you're arrested on new felony charges, you're not entitled to bond. Defense counsel?
If you could set somebody up there.
Mr. Youngman, you're going to be held without bond. Your first hearing is called, going to be a no bond hearing, June 6th at 2:30 p.m. Your preliminary hearing is going to be June 11th at 1:30 p.m. You are not allowed to have any contact with the victim involved in this case. Do not call the person, do not text the person, do not write the person, do not social media the person. If you were to get out of custody, you are not allowed to have any contact with that person. Go to their residence or work location. Commit no further acts of domestic violence, possession of firearms or weapons. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is June 11th at 1:30 p.m. You also had misdemeanor charges from yesterday for assault, 3 counts of disorderly conduct, and obstructing a public thoroughfare. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty and no contact with any of the victims. Hold on a second. I need to get a court date.
Maybe, is it a DD or anything?
No.
It's unassigned to anybody?
No.
Oh, wow.
Hold on a second, Mr. Youngman.
Sorry. Let's go ahead and do Judge Crenshaw, 7-8 at 2.
All right, July 8th at 2:00 p.m. is your next hearing date in city court, and I'll appoint Jeff Grinchowicz to help you with your city court case. Thank you. You are excused.
You have no bond. Please go with your no bond. Because you've got a case pending and you stuck a new check.
I understand, but it's no bond hearing.
That's where they talk about bond.
Okay, and he promotions. Yeah, fine, yeah, okay.
Jailer, are we gonna be seeing Jesus, Valenzuela? You're confusing.
Your Honor, he refused again today. The pawn officers were advising me that he is extremely ill.
All right, Ms. Rubin, you wanna continue to tonight?
Yeah.
All right, let's continue this business to tonight. Thank you, everyone, you're excused.
I think we briefly saw him yesterday morning, but he threw up on camera, so
Oh, gosh.
it makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, have a good day.
I'm glad I wasn't there.
Oh, gosh. Thank
They
you,
couldn't
everyone.
get him out of the way quick enough. I felt bad for the defense attorney who was there.
Ugh.
Yes.
Have a good day, everyone.
Yeah, have a good day. See you later.
And